The limbic system is a really important part of the brain, and it deals with threats. And so I'm going to talk about the limbic system and give you a good example to try and help understand what the limbic system is and how it works. So if you think about a watchman on a big tower in a castle, so the watchman will then look in the distance and look for anything on the horizon that looks like a threat. And so as they look for this, they're going to spot anything that moves, anything, and they're going to check, is it a threat? And so this is like the amygdala, which is a part of the brain within the limbic system. And the amygdala is like the watchman in that it's always looking for threats. And so as soon as it sees a threat, it then will signal the army to come out and attack. And so once this happens, the armies come out and attack, and that's a bit like our fight or flight, or freeze even. So it's where we would get the blood would withdraw from our stomach and go into our muscles and would get ready to fight or flight, and we can freeze. And so we would also get adrenaline, cortisol, would get our eyesight would change and would be focused on distance, and we'll be able to look at how do we survive this situation. So it's all around threats and how to survive. Now there's another part of the brain called the hippocampus. The hippocampus deals with the meaning, the context, why things happened, when it happened, and it helps just put a better perspective on things. Now, this part of the brain shuts down when the amygdala is activated. So as soon as the watchman is active and then saying this is a threat, it's like the king, being the hippocampus, gets taken into hiding, and he gets taken somewhere else so that he's safe. And so this is just like how the hippocampus works. So it shuts down, we don't access that part of the brain because we need to survive with threats. So then we can have watchmen that are very sensitive. So if we think of our amygdala, it can be really sensitive. So anything that flickers, it could be a tree, a branch that it's looking at, and it signals the army. And so this is similar for young people that have had traumas. So they can be in a classroom and then they can hear a loud noise. They could have someone come too close to them. Someone could walk in the room that's got a different stance that just triggers a memory or a flashback, and then their limbic system is activated. Their watchman has said this is a dangerous situation. And so we can be in classrooms or at work or anywhere where we see things that trigger our limbic system, and then we're stuck. We can't do things to solve it because sometimes young people could be sat at a desk, we could be at work doing things, and we're not allowed to just leave. And so we need to find ways to manage this discreetly and in an effective way. And also we need to think about, when the limbic system gets activated, was that a real threat? So is it just something that can be changed? So was it a loud bang? Can we overcome loud bangs? Was it that someone was too close to us, and could that be resolved quite easy? Or is there things that we need to do to change our perception of the threat? And so, for example, if the watchman sees a group of people coming towards the castle, he might signal for the army, but then he might learn that these people are safe. And so every time he sees them in the future, he doesn't signal for the army. And so it can be working with young people to teach them about different situations that are safe, different people that are safe, and help them build up their repertoire of different ways of managing threats and understanding more about them, so that they can have the hippocampus activated and they can put that meaning and context on. So we need to look at, how do we change threats and how do we manage the limbic system? So I will do some videos where we'll go through this and I'll give some examples on how to manage these things.